Good evening, good evening, good evening. How is everybody doing? It is I, Ronald, coming with you live and just pretty much getting the show started and checking in with everybody, see how everybody is doing, see how everybody's week is going, see how everybody's weekend has been, and just kind of just talk to the viewers and talk to the people and just reach out to them while my other two hosts are coming up doing what they need to do in preparation of getting ready. Yes, yes. And we're gonna get into that sample. We're gonna get into that a little bit later on. A little bit later on, because there's some other things that we're gonna talk about too with this stream. And there's been some new developments that has happened since the last stream that I was talking about. So we'll dive into that as well. I mean, there's a bunch of stuff that's been happening since the last time we talked about, home ownership and everything else, and even buying a home, buying land. Like been a lot that's happened, and so we're gonna cover that in tonight's topic. And like I said, just waiting on my other two. But while we're waiting on them, just want to engage with the community, engage with the viewers, and just see where they're at, see how you guys are doing, how you guys are holding up. And I feel as though, well, now I should say we feel as though that we don't do that enough, or we don't do it as often as we should. And so we also know that without you guys showing up, without you guys being here, there wouldn't be no channel. There wouldn't be a melanated council, you know? And so we're just taking this time out to reach back and reach out and just just have some conversations and make sure everyone knows that we still care about them. We still want to hear from them, and we still want them to realize and recognize that we appreciate each and every last viewer, each and every last person that shows up. Because again, like I said, without you guys being here, there would be no us, And so that's what we're doing. We're just taking this time out, reaching out to our viewers and reaching out to our followers and letting them know, like, hey, we miss talking to you guys. We understand that some of us were not on social media as much. I know I'm not on social media as much. And so, hey, we got one person showing up. Everybody, give a round of applause to the main man,
But um oh
Toby.
no, is your camera still doing this thing?
Yeah, no, I didn't get paid yet.
Gotcha.
Let's see. What was the start date of McCoy? That's a good question. Hey, Toby, question for you.
Yeah.
What was the start date of McCoy? Now, are you talking about as far as the channel goes or as far as the group goes, Sample?
I know the channel basically was created by the end of May. So I think by May like 26th. Ironically, it was right around when the George Floyd, basically the day that incident happened, but
Yeah.
we were talking about that as our first episode. I remember our first episode was like around the 26th of May or so. Um, as for the group,
Okay.
Ron, you might be better equipped to answer that one because I
Okay.
actually joined like December of 2019. And at that point, the Twitter group had already existed. And I
Yeah.
don't even know who created it, to be honest.
Yeah. Sheesh. I got in. Was it through the? It could be. It could be through the Zach and Matt show. It could be through. If you remember James Ellers and Heidi, um, vets for vets for Yang. We
Hmm.
were on their show for a short stint, a time, and they were pretty much the first people to kind of bring us on. As far as the group goes, I know I got in. I almost want to say like August or September of 2019, and that was roughly around about the same time I actually got back onto Twitter because I had a Twitter account like for years, but I just kind of like went MIA because of some other issues I was dealing with at the time. And so when I got back on there and whatnot, I'm like, okay, Twitter has changed. And so, I wouldn't say interviewing, but just kind of doing some research on the candidates that were running. And Andrew Yang wasn't even on my blip until MC Jen, if you guys know who that is, till he reached out to me. He was like, hey, how you doing and everything else. I'm like, good. And, we had a conversation back and forth. He was like, yeah. He said, in the politics or whatnot, like I'm doing some research, just browsing, looking around, seeing who I want to support and vote for when it's time to vote. He said, hey, I would check out my dude Andrew Yang. Like, Andrew Yang? Like, yeah. I'm like, okay. And so, of course, we talked and had our exchange and then did some research on Yang. I'm like, holy crap, like this dude is on to something. Like Andrew Yang is something that we needed. However, we couldn't have him because America is, America. So I know a lot of people say, yeah, I heard of Andrew Yang of the Joe Rogan podcast. Like I didn't hear about Andrew Yang through Joe Rogan. Like I heard of Andrew Yang through MC Jen. So shout out to MC Jen. Like kudos to MC Jen because without that man, I would probably not have been Yang Gang at all. And so the group had to start like somewhere like that mid part of 2019, like May or April or whenever the Joe Rogan podcast started. Like it had to be somewhere around about that time because not a lot of people heard about him. And even then, once I did my research about Andrew Yang, I'm like, man, like I wonder if there's any. Would you say McCoy still for Yang? That I I'm not going to speak for the group because a lot of people are kind of on the fence. We got some that are still for him. We got some that's kind of like pushing away. And so overall, it's just more so of people have their people have their opinions and we respect their opinions. And so who knows? Who knows?
Yeah, fact.
Hey,
Hey,
Dan, hold on. We got one more person to bring in, y'all. We got one more person to bring in.
all
Please
right,
give
great time.
y'all a round of applause to the lovely, the illustrious. Oh,
Wow, thanks for the introduction. Lovely and illustrious. Okay.
yeah,
Thank
yeah.
you.
You're welcome. You're welcome. Just like yeah, we were just reminiscing of the days of McCoy and Melanated Council and how everything became to be and whatnots. Because yes, the squad is in the house.
Yes.
Indeed, the whole squad come through. In fact, I was even gonna say about the question specifically that like I think we want it to be like broad, just like we discuss anything and everything under the sun. And of course, our start was like even in our YouTube bio, it still says like we were Black Gang supporters because that is how we all met. But the rebrand was kind of it had its time coming because it was like, well, I feel like everything at that point was already like around humanity something, if not Yang itself. And then like
or
even
UBI or something.
or UBI, like truckers for UBI. And then I realized, oh wait, we're not humanity forward is not even really a thing. Oh, it's a thing. I shouldn't say that, but Yang was no longer a part of it. And I felt like, okay, well, we're probably gonna have melanated something. Maybe it was gonna be related to humanity, but I think after a while it was just the melanated council. So people
Right.
have their own opinions, like Ron said. But there's no concerted effort coming, I would say, from like McCoy per se. Like there are of course people like Erica running for Congress, and they're kind of doing their own campaign thing. So I'm not trying to speak on their behalf, but clearly, if you see them, like
Oh man, even then, that it's a whole nother topic. It's a whole nother topic. It's a whole nother topic because there's some people who have their opinions, and we respect their opinions, especially when it comes to religion. We respect those opinions highly because we understand that we live in a world where a lot of people can become closed-minded and not be able to find a common ground. And so by us having those type of topics that make some people feel uncomfortable, we do it in a way where everybody's comfortable. And even if you get uncomfortable while being comfortable, it causes you to have some kind of growth, which helps you to become a more better overall person, a person that's more so understanding and like, okay, I can see why this person views things this way. I can see why people view things that way. Or I can see why this person doesn't believe in religion. Or I can see why this person does believe in religion, i.e., becoming a Christian, Buddhist, Hindu, Catholic, Muslim, so forth and so forth and so forth.
Mm-hmm.
And again,
End time society and disease.
Actually, I do remember someone would post something in the comments. I don't remember if that was sample though. But I do remember seeing comments earlier, like last year or so, and there were some religious kind of undertone comments. So that actually is a throwback saying that we definitely will. I know that it's just gonna come. It's gonna have to come up because it is such a big topic.
yes.
It's very integral to a lot of the Black American experience and the immigrant experience broadly is like religion or even the influence of Christianity. I mean, there's a lot to go into with that.
Oh yeah.
The Black church and then how that intertwined with politics. So there definitely is absolutely when it comes to Christianity, the influence of that on a lot of the Black societies.
Yeah. And even then, sample, because I am a Christian, like, yes, firm believer in that. At the same time, I also know that if there's somebody who doesn't believe that or doesn't believe in that, does not make them less of a person. And even then, it's like it opens up the conversation of, okay, well, why don't you believe in that? What are some experiences that you've been through, or some situations that cause you not to think that way? And just have an open dialogue conversation just to get a better understanding, and even then, you know, even if they become comfortable enough explaining like a lot of their thought processes, a lot of the reasons behind it, it's like, okay, I get where you're coming from. Like, I understand where you're coming from. At the end of the day, I'm still going to love you as an individual. I'm still going to love you as a human being. Why? Because you deserve to be loved, regardless of what religion regardless of what your religion is, regardless of your lifestyle. I'm still told to love you, regardless. Still told to love you, regardless. And again, that is a whole the religion piece. Oh yeah, especially in Black America. Oh yeah, that's a whole other topic. A whole nother topic. And like Toby said, and how it also kind of, um, yes, yes, that part. And even then, like Toby was saying, how politics and religion kind of plays itself in the Black community. Again, that's another topic of how both of those are intertwined, and how most people, when they go to vote, how they vote and why they vote the way that they do based off of their religion.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's
Right.
a it's a whole. That's like we just have like 3 4 topics that just came out of that one question or the one phrase. So sample, kudos to you. Kudos to you. So
Yeah.
pretty much as we're coming in was just talking to the chat, seeing how everybody is doing. I know Toby, you came in, want to check in with you, see how you doing. L, I know you in the house, want to see how you see how you doing.
In the house.
I'm doing well. I was actually in Boston last week.
Nice.
Um, yeah, I saw this guy. I met him. This guy.
Hey,
You might
let's
know him as Toby.
go.
Yeah.
It's legendary.
Yes. And I met Mish too, who's in the chat.
Nice.
It's on Twitch.
Niche.
Yeah, I spent a lot of time with Mish. It was awesome. Like, they were awesome because like I kept getting nosebleeds because like it was dry. The air was so dry up there, and like Mish was just like really cool and patient about it. And it was really like I was really touched. I really appreciated it. Like Mish is awesome.
Nice.
And yeah, we chilled for a long time, and then we met up with Toby. But I had to go to like a wasn't even a dinner. It was like one of my sister's friends was inviting my sister and I to dinner, and
Hmm.
so we went. Well, like so I had to leave everybody, which was sad.
Yeah.
Um, but
Oh.
but yeah, but it was nice meeting Toby. Toby said that I was shorter in real life, and I didn't know how to feel.
Wait, did I actually say? I don't remember. Did I actually? I don't remember saying that. I actually thought
Wow.
that you were taller. Oh.
Well, you said you thought I'd be taller.
Oh yeah, I think I did think. I don't know. That's interesting. I'll let you keep going.
It's like, well, I thought you were going to
Wow.
be taller too. Could
That's,
Oh man. That's funny.
it? Exactly, the
Yes.
heightism,
The
you know.
heightism.
Right. Like he just like treated me with disrespect. He was like, "Oh, you don't deserve my time. You got to be this tall to get my attention."
what are you doing here?
Exactly.
Dude,
I'm 5'7". Um,
Okay.
yeah, and I had like some like boots on that probably gave me maybe like an inch and a half. Uh, and I thought I
That's
wasn't sure. Like I guess because like how Mish takes their photos, like I always thought Mish was probably gonna be like my height, but Mish was a little shorter. But
Oh,
Toby
man.
seems kind of short to me. Not gonna lie, I see that. I'm not gonna lie. But no, Toby's taller than me. I don't know how tall are you, Toby?
I'm gonna say I'm 6 foot.
You're just gonna say that?
There you go.
Yeah.
Because I mean, I like coming out of high school, which was like almost 10 years ago. I remember always being measured at 5'11" at like doctors' offices, the physicals I had to do for sports. But then I never really got my height measured, even though I've had physicals, not many, Which, by the way, kids, don't do that. Have physicals every year, please. Once you become
Yes.
an adult and you get your own doctor. But for the longest time, I did not have my own pediatrician. We've talked a little bit about health, but we should definitely talk more about taking ownership of your own health. Anyways,
Mhm.
yeah, so I think I didn't have like another physical till I was like 21. And then even then, like the next one was probably not for another few years. And I don't remember being measured for my height. So I'm like, wait, how tall am I? I'm like, I have to be taller than I was when I was 17. I'm 26 now, but I just don't think I remember being measured. I mean, I have a physical like next week, so I guess I'll find out then. Let's hope that I actually am 6 foot, because 5'11" is just annoying. It's like, why would I just stop there?
5'11" is annoying. So
5'11" and 3/4. Oh yeah, I'm dead. I mean, we have a Discord, by the way. Like, check our. I think
Yes.
it's on our YouTube bio, right? Like permanently.
Yeah.
So
It should be. It better be.
It better be. I mean, I think also if you're on another platform, it's probably there too. And so our Discord is open, and you can see all the shenanigans that have happened, and you can see the pictures of us.
right,
there you
yeah.
go.
So you can,
Picture of
so
me.
you can eyeball our height. And I guess see how long my hair really is. So I think it actually shows my hair.
Yeah.
But anyway, what was I gonna say? I didn't. Yeah, no. Yeah, you know, like I understand how when you felt like 5'11" was kind of an annoying height. Well, like I was 5'6" for a very long time, like a very long time. And you know, I grew up watching like America's Next Top Model, and I knew that you had to be at least 5'9" to be a runway model. And so, you know, low key, when you said you thought I'd be taller, like it hurt like my 13-year-old self. I was like, oh, I wanted to be a runway model, but I couldn't. Well, it's not like I actually gave it a shot. But, I mean, I used to be like, you know, I used to be very skinny, and people would say I should be a model. But low key brag.
There you go.
But yeah, so I grew an inch, I think, in college, and I became 5'7". And I remember I got myself measured. I was like at the doctor for some reason. And like the lady said, okay, you're 5'7". I was like, what, really? I was like, I grew? I was, because like you don't fucking grow. Like, when you, like, especially as a girl, like you don't really grow much after high school. Like usually it's guys, like if they have like a late growth spurt, they might grow after college. Like there were some guys who I knew in high school were very short, and then I see them like at a wedding, probably like, you know, 7, 8 years later, and like they're like taller than me, and I was like, what the hell? But like they grew in college, and I just, you know, we didn't go to college together, so it's like kind of crazy, but it was sort of cool that I was able to like grow an inch at least.
There you go.
I was like, I didn't want to be 5'6" anymore. That's only 1 inch taller than my mom. That's not enough clearance. Like, I want to be very obvious that I'm taller than my mom, not just like, she looks maybe taller. No.
I'm dead.
That's funny. That's funny. Well, I could say the reverse happened to me. I swore up and down I was like 5'10", 5'11", always. And the one time I went to the doctor's office, you know, getting my, like Toby says, get my typical checkup done and everything else. And the nurse, no, not the nurse. Well, yeah, I'm gonna call her the nurse. Nurse says, "Yeah, you're like 5'9" and like 3/4." I'm like, really? That's it? Just 5'9" and 3/4? Like I couldn't get another quarter to be like 5'10", which I thought I would actually would be. And she's like, no, not gonna happen. I'm like, okay, fine. I'll take my 5'9" and 3/4 and I'll run with it. And that's pretty much the height I've been since I graduated high school. And I'm about to show my age, and that was about what, 13 years ago? So 13, 14 years ago? Yeah. And that's it. I ain't grow nothing. I just stayed the same. I think it was because it was coffee or weights or coffee and weights. I don't know anymore. I don't know what the stigma is when it comes to stunting your growth. Like, okay, yeah, whatever. I know both of my brothers, they're both like 6 foot. My dad's 6'1". My oldest, he's 5'11". 5'11", 5'12", but mind you, he's only a freshman in high school. So it's like he still has like time and room to grow, which
Mm-hmm.
it's very much possible. So I'm like, okay, whatevs.
No, it's true. My nephew, he's gonna be 17 very soon. Actually, should have to buy him a gift. Um,
Ah.
Start of birthday season.
Uh,
Anyway, like if you ever have like a lot of siblings, just don't have a lot of siblings.
you have any business, just don't.
Yeah, just don't. Because then they have kids, and then yeah. Anyway, so I'm kidding. I love all of them and everyone to death, but he, yeah, I don't know how tall he is. He's probably like 5'11". Probably still has room to grow, of course.
Hmm.
Yeah, he's quite tall. He might get to six. He might even be 6 foot. He's very tall, and just like skinny too. He's tall. He's a swimmer, so he's like
Yeah.
very tall and lanky. Um, but yeah, so that's gonna be weird. Just it's weird. It's
Mhm.
already weird having a nephew that's about to be 17, and then my age. And then there's like the other thing about him being taller than me, and him calling me auntie and like respecting me and everything. I'm like, oh, cool. I'm glad you still do that.
There you go.
But like I had to take care of I had to like watch him and his younger brother, my youngest nephew, like a couple months ago, because my sister and her husband are out of town. And it's just funny because like he has his license, he has a car, so he like takes himself to school. And it's just funny like seeing like this tall kid put on a backpack and go into a car to go to like high school. It's like, okay. And it just seems like funny. I guess because I didn't drive to school, so I mean, maybe for y'all that's like pretty normal. But I don't know. It's just seeing like this big kid that I knew since he was born just take himself in his car that's a freaking stick shift and
Mm.
drive his self to school.
Wow.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's just
Yeah.
like yeah, it's just crazy to just like witness this. I'm like, okay, and he takes himself to swim practice and he can make himself breakfast. Like he feeds himself. He does it like he's very like self-sufficient. So, watching him was easy. It was just mainly watching the 9-year-old. And he was great too. Like he gave me directions on how to get to his basketball game because I was like, how do you take me to this park? And I was like, I don't know where the heck this park is. So he sat next to me. He was like, yeah, you make it right here, then you go here, then you turn over here. And yeah, I know this is a random tangent. I'm just proud, okay? I'm a proud
There you
aunt.
go. There you go. No,
Yeah.
you do that. Be a proud auntie. There you go.
Okay. Thank you. Also, Sample, you have 7 other siblings. I'm sort of in the same, but I have 6 other siblings. They're all older than me. And all their birthdays are from, pretty much the same, from December to end of May. And
Wow.
all of my nieces and nephews are born in the months that they share too. So yeah, not each and every one, but like December, I have a nephew and a sister born in the same month. I have 2 nieces and my sister in March, and then I have a niece and my brother in April. And then I have 2
Mm.
brothers and a niece and a nephew in May. So
Mm.
so this is the start of birthday season. There's only birthday season and hurricane season. That's all.
There you go.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then there's Mother's Day in May. And they're all born that week for whatever reason.
Mm.
So it's like, yay, money down the drain.
No.
I'm always so stressed during this time. It's like, oh goodness, birthdays, Christmas. Ah. It's
Oh
like,
man.
it's like you should have kids. When are you having kids? I'm like, I enjoy having the little money that I have. I'd like to continue enjoying Christmas. Because if I have a kid, it's like I don't think I like Christmas anymore.
I'm gonna not say anything for a while. I'm gonna not say anything for a while. Just because I'm in that boat, and then on top of that, uh, on my mom's side of the family, we're starting to do the Secret Santa. So
Okay.
not only do I have to buy like presents for kids and the missus, but I also got to buy a present for one of my family members, and yeah, it's gonna get a little expensive, just a little bit, just a little bit. But then um, next week, doing Secret Santa at my school that I work at, and so all the staff members are gonna get somebody, and I think I might be the easiest person because there's only like three males that actually work there at the school, and yeah, probably gonna be like real easy. I'm like real easy, real straightforward. Like I don't like a whole lot of things except for Michigan State and Ohio State, but that's about it. Everything else is pretty much like free game.
That's
You
fair.
know, maybe Alabama might get snuck in there. Like I don't do Alabama. Nope, nope. I don't do Alabama. Anybody else? Sure, go for it. Yes, but yeah.
Okay. No, that's fair. If somebody gave me like a Gators cup, I'd probably slap them in their face.
Ouch! Yeah, that would be disrespectful,
That
especially
would be.
especially if they know that you don't like the University of Florida. Like, yeah, I don't like them. Like, what's wrong with you? Graduated from FSU, like,
Exactly. It's like show some respect. I don't even care
right?
if they got me like a UCF mug. I'm like, okay. Like I like the colors, black and gold. That's fine.
Yeah.
And they have a
Black and
cute
gold's an
mascot.
excellent combo. I didn't know that was UCF. That was my high school. No, that was my college. Was black and gold.
Oh,
High school's blue and gold.
okay. Blue
Okay.
is a nice color too. I think that's like the LA Rams, blue and yellow.
Yeah. I mean, yeah. Then
You got the blue and gold kind of too. I mean, it's like black and gold because you have like I don't know. This is like the hair and the shirt and then
come on, Toby.
Okay.
and the skin and the glasses rims. Look at the rims.
Yes,
And
thank you.
actually, I was like literally seeing more things as I kept talking. I was like, "Oh snap! It just keeps going. It's just literally just black and gold everywhere." So
I
anyway.
see what you're saying. I'm kind of wearing like if, with the wall and my shirt. That's sort of my school colors,
There you go.
actually.
There you go. There you go. Come on, L. Come on, L. Slow correct.
But okay, black and gold. It's a good combination.
There you go. Oh man, that's awesome. That's awesome. I mean, everybody repping their school colors. I mean, mine's is like when I graduate. Oh, I know we got a topic to go into. I know we got a topic to go into. Y'all charge it to my head and not my heart. But I will be going back to school. I don't know if I told everybody this, but I will be going back to school
Nice.
to be getting my teacher's degree.
Hell yeah. Awesome.
Yep. And so my school colors will be like black and navy blue.
Okay.
Okay.
Hopefully they don't beat you up black and blue.
Nah,
Literally thought of
nah. They're not gonna beat me black and blue. Mm-mm. I'm drawing red somewhere.
So you're gonna be joining a gang. We're gonna beat
Yep.
you up. The
Blood
school
in, blood out.
gang.
Right? You want to join? Like, nah, I'm trying to get my degree. Leave me alone.
get jumped in to be a teacher. I mean, that's
Right.
probably going to be the future.
Man.
Imagine.
I mean, I feel like
Man. That would suck.
it would be.
Sheesh.
Hmm. Nice. It's,
Oh, black and blue and red all over.
yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
Good one.
Yes. Newspaper jump. So, oh man, we got to get into our topic, y'all. We got to get into our topic. So, this topic, as you may have seen or have not seen, you're going to see anyways. It's catered to black home ownership, and I want Elderly to lead this one off because there was something that was over the weekend that you posted in our Discord that I didn't realize was still happening, and yet here it is. You know, 2021. Yet here we go. So, I'll let you take the reins.
Sure. So, um, there was an article that showed up. I think it was like, I don't know, it was some paper that I'm not subscribed to, but the title was like a black homeowning family was initially appraised for a home a lot lower because they were trying to sell their home, and they replaced everything and made it look like it was like a white family, and then it was appraised for $500,000 more than what it was initially priced at, which is $500,000. And the reason why I phrase it, because like sometimes $500,000, yeah, that's a lot of money, but like when you phrase it as like $500,000, it kind of sounds more, but it just kind of shows the gravity of the amount of money that this black family almost missed out on.
Yeah.
Like $500,000 is like what houses are going for, like what a lot of houses are going for now in Broward County. So like they could have sold their, I don't know where this home was actually. I doubt it was here though. But like they could have sold their home and then bought it cash, a house cash here, like a nice house, like a nice like 3-2, 4-2, with a yard and a pool for $500,000. Easy. And this market is fucking crazy right now. But they could have actually done that. So that just kind of goes to show like where $500,000 can go, and that was $500,000 that they could have acquired.
Yeah.
Ish. Well, I guess it depends on how much that they bought the home for and all that calculations. But long story short, like it was appraised for $500,000. Like I guess I never actually like sat down and thought about it. Sorry, but like that's a fuck ton of money.
What was originally supposed to be?
Huh?
The original appraisal?
I am not sure. I'm not entitled because I couldn't read the article, unfortunately. But like, right. But I see articles like that come up occasionally from time to time where, like, oh, there was this one like interracial couple, like black woman, white man, and like the black woman was home, and like their daughter or whatever, and then the house was appraised, and it was appraised for a lot less, and then she was like, no, this isn't right. So she just had the white husband be home, and she took away all the pictures and everything of anything of her and like their biracial child. And then the house was appraised for a lot more. This was just like a couple years ago, like if that, like it was still fairly recent. And like, like these kinds of stories happen all the time, but like this goes to show like the amount of money that black people are getting missed out on. Like if you don't know and you didn't like quite do your research, or like you like it's very easy to just sort of, I don't know, I don't really want to say chalk it up to the game because I feel like that's incorrect, but like it's very easy to it's easy to not know. I mean, it's a lot easier now because like we could just go to like realtor.com or Zillow. And if anyone's looking for a home site, now don't fucking use Zillow.com. Like their prices are not great. Use realtor.com. That's like the most accurate. But so if you go to like realtor.com, Zillow, Trulia, like you can kind of see like what people are selling their homes for around you. So you can get like a good idea of like, maybe my home is like, I have a similar square footage, similar layout as this home down the street, and this home is being sold for 300K, and I bought my home for 150K, so I could probably, like, and I did like a couple of updates here and there. I got like a new washer and dryer and a new kitchen put in or something. So, and I see that from the pictures of this house, they didn't really do anything, so I could probably put my house up for like 350 or something like that. So, but if somebody were to come in and appraise your home and it's like, oh, especially because, a lot of like, there's like realtors and, mortgage brokers or whatever who would probably want to start to turn in a neighborhood, like possibly like more white, or they'll try to, they'll, try to, I don't know, get people like try to sell the house maybe less and then have somebody else buy the house that they or like have some sort of like connections or what have you. Kind of, I mean, like I don't really know like what an appraiser would get out of if they appraised the house for less though. They're not selling the house. But that just means like they're just screwing people over, which is really fucked up now that I think about it.
Yeah.
Yeah, because like the appraiser wouldn't be getting anything if they appraise the house for less. So they really are just fucking people over. But yeah, no, that's definitely like a thing. Like I've said this on Twitter like a few times that I do have like an emergency white man, emergency white husband. I'm being dead ass serious. I do. Like one of my friends, like he knows this. To pretend to be my white husband for situations like this when it comes to like, like anything dealing with like home stuff. And like I bought my home before he bought his, or I bought my place before he bought his place. But like I've had him just like sit with me if I was trying to get like hurricane proof windows, which I don't have because they're really fucking expensive, but they're worth it. If anybody in a hurricane area, definitely get hurricane proof windows. Don't listen to me. But I've had him like sit with me and he doesn't like say anything. He's just there. But it's like I'm, trying to talk and negotiate with whoever. But like the person who I'm talking to will be like looking over at my friend. It's like, no, he's just there. Like but no, it's true. It's sad. Like my home was actually like recently appraised because I was like looking into doing like a refinance or whatever, and it was fortunately appraised correctly, and I totally forgot to even think to bring my friend over, but I think it's because of like the area I'm in and the county. Like my county, like when I think on it, like my county is kind of a unicorn in a way because it's majority minority, but like it's also expensive. And yeah, like it's majority minority. It's also like, pretty like expensive as well, which, like when you think of like a minority county, you're probably like, it might have like, like more so negative connotations. So, yeah, sorry. Just went on like a weird random rant, but it is like fucked up that, like you buy a place hoping that the price and the value is going to go up, and people are still just trying to screw you over because of your race for whatever fucking reason. It's just like trying to keep people poor. Like you buy a home hoping for like generational wealth and or just some money, and then like I don't know. Like I'm still trying to figure out like why they appraise it for lower. It's like they just really just don't want this family to have more money.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Okay. That ooh, excuse me. Oh, excuse me. Yeah, that's what happened in San Diego. No, San Francisco. I'm sorry. It's very unfortunate, but then again, at the same time, I what you're saying, I totally do hear where you're coming from because even out here, when my brother bought his house, it's in a predominantly white neighborhood, and
Mm-hmm.
so he bought it without really looking around to see if he could get something bigger for the same price that he's paying now.
Okay.
And so when he bought it, of course, him and my sister in law, they were talking back and forth. And of course, he's like, we'll go ahead and buy it. He went down like not even 2 blocks where he currently lives at right now. And there was another house, a bigger house actually, that had everything that they wanted, everything that they needed for the same price he bought his house.
Nice.
But the thing about, like I said, the thing about it is that the place that he is now is smaller than the house that they were trying to get.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, the place they're in now is smaller than what they were trying to get. However, they both were, excuse me, they both were priced the same. When he told me that, I'm like, dude, really? He was like, man, he said, I've been kicking myself in the teeth for the longest time. He said, whenever you buy a house, he was like, don't just settle on one. He said, make sure when you buy a house, make sure you buy a house that you find that you want to grow old in, and even if you want to update it here and there, you can do it so you can get more out of it, which is what he's
Mm-hmm.
doing now. The work he's put into the house now, it's a lot. He redid the floors, he redid the bathroom, he had somebody do the bathtub, and it looks really really nice,
Right.
really nice. So he put in a lot of work in his current house, and his idea is when he gets done was to turn around and sell it and hopefully get a bigger house to the point where he doesn't have to put in as much work as he did with his current house.
Mm,
Hmm.
okay.
Hmm.
Right. But no, like my bad. I thought he found a house and then he found a bigger house and got the bit. My bad. But like
No, no.
the thing, like I mean, there could be like a lot of reasons. I think like so. I don't know if like the house that was bigger but was priced the same as the house that he got. I don't know if
Hmm.
like it was previously black owned, because then I was just sort of thinking how like sometimes they could like appraisers will probably be like certain things are wrong with it, and they may actually even be like a lot more critical of certain things when it comes to like appraising and like inspecting certain things. So they might like price it a lot lower, thinking that certain like maybe like this black family wasn't taking good care of it, or something. Like I don't know, I'm just sort of speculating as to like the thought process between appraisers.
Right,
um
right.
like it is really like annoying and fucked up where what was I gonna say? What? I don't even want to say this. Anyway, I won't say it. But like I don't know, there could have been like more things wrong with the house, like the bigger house, and
Hmm.
hence why it was like a little bit less expensive.
Hmm. Hmm.
But like they also could have just had like a shitty appraiser.
Possibly.
Yeah, who just it could have been like a lot more critical and appraised it for a lot less.
Possibly,
Yeah.
possibly, and even then, just to kind of give everybody context of where I live, I live in the southwest part of Michigan, where the city and the county is very old and Republican, very old and Republican. And so a lot of the homes they get passed down from generation to generation to generation, and it never leaves the family unless somebody decides to sell it and you know move down south to Florida or whatnot. You know, yeah, I know
Don't
it
stop moving down here. Stop.
it happens. It happens. But even still, it's like a lot of the homes were built like back in the 50s, 60s, 70s, possibly like late 80s, and they pretty much still look the same. Like nothing has really been done per se to kind of add more value to them.
Mhm.
And even still, it's like you've been living here for X amount of years. Don't you think you should put the work into it to kind of make it better in a way, and not just leave it the way how it is? And again, talking to my with my brother, he was like he got to the point where he was fed up of coming home and seeing a bunch of stuff wrong. So he was like, you know what? I went bought a a do-it-yourself book from the Home Depot. He said, I just did my own work. I did everything that I could that I know how to do. I did it. And so he said the only one thing he didn't know how to do was the bathtub. He didn't know how to do anything related to that. But he hired a contractor, and the contractor did a really good job. Did a really good job with it. And so everything else he pretty much put in his own blood, sweat, and tears, and his own equity into his house. I'm like, go for it, dude.
Oh, that's what's up.
Yeah, so I'm learning a lot from him, and even then, it's like he's like, he said, man, he's like, it would be nice if the both of us had a day off where I could go over to his house and help him, and he kind of showed me everything else, and it just pretty much tell me like, or at least show me when it is my turn to buy my house, what not to do and what to look for.
Yeah. No, and like it's good to have, I guess, like mentors, so to
Oh
speak,
yeah.
for people who, like who's already owned a home
Hmm.
and has dealt with literally everything under the roof,
Hmm.
pun and no pun
Yes.
intended. For
Yeah.
that,
There you go.
yeah, for that, that's like my oldest sister. Um, so like her and her husband, like in addition to like their normal jobs, they also like buy, flip, sell homes or buy homes and rent them. And they've been doing that for years now. So, um, so like whenever any little thing happens, like in my home, like I immediately call her and it's like, hey, yo, what do I need to do? What can I do? Should I do this? Blah, blah, blah. And she's always like, calm down. It's not that big of a deal. Like the other day I had baseboards put in, and one of the guys who did the baseboards, they have to like nail it to the wall, and they accidentally nailed a pipe. So
Ooh.
yeah, good time. So like, but it was fine for like a couple of months, or maybe like a month or so. I can't remember. Yeah, it was fine for a while, but Then there was one day when I was just doing like a ton of laundry. Um, and because of that, and like I learned now, the washing machine uses like, oh, I know it uses water, but it uses a lot of water very quickly. So it uses like a lot of pressure to go in, to come out, to go in. So like that caused me to hear like a sound. And I was like, what is that? I thought like, oh, maybe it's just the neighbors. Maybe they're doing something and I can hear it. And then like I just kept hearing it like the whole time. And then like I was starting to like put my ear towards like the walls. And I'm like, why is it coming from the broom closet?
Mm.
Like what could possibly be leaking in the broom closet? But the broom closet is between the second bathroom and the washer and dryer. So there was a pipe there. So I ended up like turning off like the water. It's also important to know where like you know, like your circuit breaker and like how to turn on and off your water is to even people who rent. You know, that's hella important. So I turned it off and the sound went away. And I was like, oh boy.
And to go swimming.
Right. It's like there's water in my walls. So I was like, what the fuck do I do? It was like a Sunday. I was like, who do I contact? Do I contact the association? That's because like, you know, because I live near like a hydrant and they were like doing some construction there. So I was like, maybe it's their fault and I don't have to pay anything because I don't want to pay anything.
I
So
heard
like,
that. Come on, L.
right. So like rule number one, find someone to blame so you don't pay anything. Find someone or something. So I was like, oh well, let me see if I can get out of this. I couldn't. Long story short,
Ouch.
it was my fault. I was in charge of these pipes. I was like, what? I thought I was supposed to be in charge of anything inside the walls. The pipes aren't. But whatever. I couldn't get out of
Yeah.
it. I mean, like they kind of are. So yeah, so like we're able to get like our contractor friend to come and fix the pipes. Like I was freaking out because like the association gave me like the number to like this plumber guy. And I was like, cool, he probably like knows like the inner workings of these homes, of these places. So like, you know, it'll probably be a little bit easier for him. And, you know, they were trying to like have me do like a insurance claim and all that. Like rule number 2, if you can get out of filing an insurance claim, please don't file an insurance claim. Unless like the damage is over like $10,000, like minimum. But if it's gonna cost like 500, just pay it. Just pay it out of, just like a car, you know, like you don't want to go through the insurance if you just like, you know, opened your car door to another car and it, you know, like scratch their paint. Is like just, and if they're an asshole, just freaking pay for that. It sucks, but it's better than to go through the insurance. So like I was almost about to do it because like these motherfuckers, they can really scare you, and that's not cool. Like, you know, like they have like these. I actually have one. Like my friend bought one. Like these things. So what this does is like it like measures moisture. It literally just says dry and wet, and you like
Hey.
and you like point it to the wall, and it will like beep if it senses moisture, and it's like I feel like these things are just like made for, you know, like insurance scammers, insurance fishers, or whatever who just want some money because it's like it starts to beep and you freak out. But you have to remember, it's like, hey, I'm pointing this thing at a place in the wall where there's a pipe. So yeah, of course there's going to be moisture. Also, I live in a swamp, so yeah, there's going to be moisture. Like, you know, you're pointing at the walls in like the bathroom. My friend was like, yeah, of course there's going to be moisture. It's a bathroom. I was like, yeah, you're right. And pipes do be there.
Yeah.
Pipes do be there.
Pipes do be. So
I mean,
yeah, but like, and also they were trying to get like my neighbors. They were like, oh, you probably didn't know this, but there was like damage and like that scared the neighbor. fortunately, the neighbor's husband was cool, and he was like, "I'm not worried about it at all. I doubt that anything happened." I was like, "Thank you," because I didn't want to spend unnecessary money, you
Right.
know, especially when it was nothing. Because first of all, it was like water spraying, as if you filled up like a plastic bottle of water and like you poked a hole so like it sprays.
Mm.
That's essentially what was happening. So like it wasn't, like it wasn't a flood. Like
Right.
it was just like a little moist. It
Mm.
was just like a little damp. Sorry for saying the M word to those who are.
I forgot about that.
I heard it and just let it do its thing.
Right.
Oh
Right.
man.
So yeah, so it didn't quite penetrate, but like I don't know, maybe just like a little went in, but
Oh man. Puns are intended.
Oh Lord.
I do agree, Sample. It does feel better when you do your own work on your house, even though I wasn't
Yes.
doing the physical labor. Like at least I knew the people who did it. I still need to get like the wall or the drywall like put back in. Drywall apparently is very cheap, so that's good. And it's also apparently really easy to do. I'm not going to attempt it. Maybe someday. I don't mind doing like, physical hard. I shouldn't say hard labor because I haven't yet to truly experience that. Let's be honest. But it's best to just like. It's great to get a network of people who can do handiwork and like
Mhm.
handy work too. Like, it's one thing to like I can do little things around the house. Like I fixed my sliding glass door, which is like right over here, because I was having like a Halloween party, and I didn't, and like the only sliding glass door that worked to get into the patio was in my bedroom. I was like, hell no, I'm not having that. I was like, I gotta just fix this door. So there was 3 doors, and 2 of them were just like not working well. They were kind of messed up. I was just like, this door is harder to fix. So let me try the other door. The other door may not be as hard. So let me attempt that.
There you
Because
go.
there's no way in hell they're coming through my bedroom. They're gonna have to like go outside and fucking go around. They're not before going into my room. No. So I was able to fix it, which was nice. Like I remember I wanted to put it on Twitter, but I was like, how do I put a video of my fixed door on Twitter, because now it's just doing what it's supposed to do. It's like, it's like, well, believe me, please. I know no one lies on the internet, so
Right.
I fixed my door. Believe me, I really did.
Oh.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly, Chad. I knew you'd remember. He's like, I was talking about re-breaking it and then like to make the video and then fixing it again.
Wow. There you go. That'll work.
True, but no, Chad had a better idea. He was like, just pretend it's broken. And then I was like, yeah, that makes more sense.
But it's not as believable though.
I know. I was like, well, I could just go and try to explain it to people, but it's like I'm gonna get all intricate and technical, not to sound like a dork, but I mean like,
Hey.
oh yeah, the thing was like not hooking into the thing, and you just had to tighten it. And like,
Come
then
on.
this little node was like, loose, so I had to tighten it here. But have we chatted about getting pre-approved? No, that's actually
Pre-approved. Oh, I guess that is a thing like you see for credit cards and other loans, but I never thought about it for houses. I'm interested to hear what that is.
Yeah, no, great question. I totally forgot about that. So getting pre-approved, you have to go to a mortgage broker, and like they run like all your credits, everything, and to see how much money, like, and also like how much money you make, and you have to give them, I think, like a couple of pay stubs, and things like that. Like I was 24 and I had just gotten like a real grown-up job with a salary.
Hey.
So I had to bring in my university diploma to show that's like, okay, if I do lose my job, there's a high likelihood that I'll find another job.
Mm.
And but I was also at the job for not that long of a time. It was less than a year. So, like it's sort of like, okay, I'm to show that yeah, she might be risky, but she's not that risky. Just like when it comes to like, a credit card or a car loan and all that.
Hmm. Right,
Um,
right.
yeah. So that was like kind of interesting. What was funny was I feel like I was sort of approved for a mortgage sort of on a fluke. And the reason why is because the year prior, I was working as like a paid intern. I was only getting like 10 an hour. And I had deferred my student loans. So when he ran my credit, it came up as like zero kind of for my loans, or like it just didn't really show. So I was just like, oh, okay, yeah. I only went to go see a mortgage broker because like my sister is a realtor, and the same sister who I was just talking about, and she was saying like, hey, instead of trying, because I was trying to rent a place, trying to move out, and she was like, hey, instead of trying to rent a place, let's see if you can buy a place. And I'm like, at the time I was like 23, so I was like, since I'm 23, what the hell are you talking about? Um, she was like, yeah, like just go talk to my mortgage broker, and if you don't qualify, see what you need to do for the next 2 years in order to qualify. So I was like, all right, what do I have to lose? And then I went and I qualified. So I was like, oh, okay. I guess I have to buy a place now because
Ha, there you go.
right. So, but like I had deferred my student loans because I was using like my tax returns and stuff from the year prior to defer because I didn't want to start paying my loans because nobody wants to do that. So I was like trying to push it for as long as I possibly could. And then I was like, okay, cool. So like I guess my credit came up better, and I guess I didn't seem as high risk or so. So I was able to be approved. The difference between a mortgage broker and an agent, like a real estate agent. Um, um okay, so like a real estate agent is the person who, you know, they drive you around so you can look at property, and like they tell you, like little things probably like around like the market, and it's like, oh, this is a good home because like XYZ, like this home down the street was sold for this much, so you're getting it at a great deal. And like they give you like a tour of the home, and probably tell you like, oh, this is like new, I don't know, like quartz, like countertops. And quartz is the new, I think quartzite is the new thing now, because just like clothes, homes get like new shit, and it's like, oh, okay, this is modern, this is modern now, yeah. And you just know, for some, I don't know why, but you just know. and,
Mhm.
and like even like my bathrooms, like with the white marble look for bathrooms, are starting to like slowly fade away. But I don't know, white and black is sort of timeless. Like it's going to be a long time until like it's very old. So I felt pretty safe doing that. But yeah, like they go around and like tell you about it. It's like, all right, this bathroom was updated, or like this updated recently, this blah blah blah. Like like they show you around. That's like a real estate agent. The mortgage broker is the person who, it's more with the law, and it's like the person who kind of finds you the bank and the loan, like the bank to, or the mortgage to purchase your home, and to like check your credit, and to in a way, if I'm describing it correctly, it's the way to like they deal with like the actual purchase of the home.
Okay.
Right. So like I feel like I've honestly never bought a car from like a dealer, but like the real estate agent, in a way, because it's like a little bit different, because like a home goes up in value. Oh, thanks, Chad. Chad gave it a Google. So I'm probably doing like a shit job explaining it, because like my sister was like helping me buy my place, and I was a child. Like,
Oh man.
I was in my early 20s. But it's like if you're buying a car and like you go to like a car dealership, and like the person who is like shows you the car and you drive with the car, that's like sort of like a real estate agent. But then when it comes to actual like purchase and getting like the loan for the car and stuff, that's kind of like the mortgage broker. Probably doing a shit job in comparing. But like I know that the mortgage broker kind of deals with more of like the law and like the market and things like that, and helps like find the loan for it. Probably doing a shit job. I apologize for any mortgage brokers listening. It's like, that's not what I do at all.
Listen, she's explaining it in terms where it's easy for people to understand. Because I like the scenario, like I get all of that what you were saying, like going to the car dealership. And actually, I never thought about it like that. So that's a new one. Never thought about like equating buying a house like buying a car. It's like, huh. But then again, the elements is still the same, very much still the same,
Very similar,
and
yeah.
yeah, if not the same, pretty much similar. So excuse me, very similar. And it's like, yeah, you find a car that you like, yeah, test drives, shows you around the lot, you find a car that you like, and he'll take you back to purchasing and see, hey, they want to buy this car. Like, okay, let's run your credit. Let's see if you can pay this loan and da 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 da. So, yes,
Right.
very similar,
And I
very
think
very
it's
similar.
and I think it's like a different person, if I'm not mistaken, that when you actually like go and purchase the car, like
Yes,
okay, so I'm not crazy.
yes,
I was
no,
like, okay, it's usually like the
I've
person, yeah. Oh, okay, yeah. So like that, I feel like
yeah,
that person is probably like the person who finds you the loan. And
yes.
okay,
No, and again, you're not far off because I've out of all the cars that we've bought, three of them we've bought through like a car dealership with a loan. No, four. I take that back. Four. We bought four through the car dealership with the loan. And so going through the process of finding the car, which was the salesman, and then once we figured out this is the car that we want, then he took us to go see the loan officer, purchasing manager, that's like secluded in the back, that has a bunch of paperwork and runs the credit and finds the loan and prints out the terms and conditions and says this is how much you needed to put down, and once you put this amount down, this is what your monthly payment's going to be until you actually pay this thing off. This is your interest rate because of your credit, and if your credit sucks, your interest rate is going to be stupid high. Yes,
yeah,
been through that process, not doing it again. No. Unless I get a car that I absolutely really really like and I really really want it, I might do it again. But other than that, nope. Mm-mm. No.
right, okay, exactly. And like when you said like the interest rate, yeah, the mortgage broker definitely deals with the interest rate as well.
Hmm.
Like they're the ones that can lock in an interest rate
Yeah.
for you. So
Yeah.
yeah, and
Yeah.
like
Oh.
definitely find you like the best loan, and like or like just sometimes just any loan that can take you, because when it comes to like when you're buying a place, you get like at least in a lot of cases you just get like some rando bank, and then like
Man.
a more well-known mortgage broker bank buys that mortgage or that loan, and
Hmm.
then yeah, that shit happens all the time. Like I feel like my loan has been bought twice.
Really?
And yeah, like I had like this one random thing had to like go. I think it was bought like almost immediately. It was bought very soon after. I don't even know if I ever had to like pay through them. Maybe like one time. And I was paying through like this one website that was like shitty for like a while, and then another company like bought that loan, and then I had to pay from like a better looking website. So I was happy about that.
There
I
you
was,
go.
yeah, but yeah, so the loans get bought out from other banks, so don't get surprised by that.
Mm.
Also, a lot of mail, like a lot of dumbass mail, comes to your house because I don't know, something must have sold your information somewhere, and then they're like, "Oh, this is regarding your mortgage." And then it's like some junk mail, but it just looks scary. And so, so like I just like ignore it. It's just like I'm just paying my loan. I'm just paying my mortgage. Like shut up. I'm paying my mortgage.
There you
Like
go.
yeah.
There you go.
Mail like
Ah, oh man.
Oh man.
That probably does that. Look, that probably happens too every now and then. You never know.
yeah, I mean, I'd be lying if that's never happened. But what did I say? Like some weird mail.
Yeah.
Some junk mail.
Some
Yes.
junk mail.
I can't actually. There has to be a fun somewhere of junk mail. I'm looking this up. Junk.
Yeah, I either get junk mail or mail junk.
Oh god. Oh.
Yeah.
See, unfortunately, that's probably what's going to show up more. But
Some
junk mail.
dumbass
You see that?
I get some dumbass mail.
Urban Dictionary. Junk.
Junk mail.
Oh, man. Hold on. There you go. That what did it for me.
Oh my gosh, he just keeps knocking on my door, this dumbass mail.
Puns are intended, ladies and gentlemen. If you have not figured that out, puns are definitely intended.
Every single time.
Every time. Every single time. Correct. We love it. We love it. Oh man, yeah. Yeah.
Chad, I don't know if you're a homeowner, Chad, but no, like dumbass men don't just come to your door.
That's like a problem.
Did I ever tell you the story about? I think I did. About the guy who like wanted a tomato from me.
What?
Anyway. All right, so story time.
Did yes.
Free story time, y'all. Awesome.
So the place next to me that I'm like connected to was for sale, or like it went under like foreclosure and all this shit for like a long time. So for the longest, I had like no neighbor, which was awesome. And so people would like come and like, you know, like look around and ask about the property and, you know, things like that. And, you know, just because like it's literally identical. It's literally just flipped between my home and theirs. And so there was this one time, like, I remember it was kind of late. I don't know why I was like out. I don't know. Anyway, so like somebody like pulls up and like it was like two black gentlemen. I believe like they were Jamaican, like they were driving a BMW. So like most likely because Jamaicans always be driving BMWs. So like they pulled up and I guess they were like like one of them was like asking about the place and you know, it was just like talking to them. It's like, yeah, the neighborhood is great, blah, 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 this and that. There's people asking questions about it. So it's like, whatever. I understand if you're looking to move here, you want to know about the neighborhood and everything. Mm-hmm. So like he started like at like, you know, having like a bit of like a conversation or whatever. And, you know, like just like talking for a bit. And I was like, okay. And then I don't know if I just went back into the house or if he left. or if they, I don't know. So I don't know, maybe like a couple of days later, and I think I was actually home that day. I was like, I probably took the day off or something, and I get like a knock on my door, and I go, and I look and I see that it's him, and I'm like, what does he want? So I open the door, answer it, and he was just like, hey, blah blah blah, because he did say before that he had like family or somebody who lived in the neighborhood, like because it's a bigger neighborhood. And he was like, hey, blah blah blah, this and that. And I was like, hey. I was like, this is kind of random, but do you happen to have a tomato? And I was like, no. And he was like, oh, okay, because I guess he was like making something, or his sister, his family member, whatever. Anyway, so that he tries to like continue conversation. He was like, oh, okay, so you're home, blah blah blah. You're taking off work, and I just like closed the door. I was like, yeah.
Wow.
I felt hella
That's what you need to bring out the peacekeeper.
Oh God.
Yeah. Yes.
Oh gosh.
Bring the peacekeeper. They're like, oh, never mind. Not like, nope. I'm gonna go down to the supermarket and grab my tomato.
Right.
Because
And it's
obviously. Go ahead.
Right. There's 2 supermarkets in the area. He'd be fine.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Sheesh.
I understand. It's like, okay, you're trying to like holler at me or whatever, and you're trying. I get it. And you only know my address.
Wow.
But like, I don't know. It's so that. I mean, that was one instance of a dumbass mail.
I was just going to say this moment is brought to you by Chad.
Dumbass mail.
Oh man, yes, that's awesome. That's awesome.
And when was that again?
This was a couple of years ago. I don't know. Like, yeah, it was a couple, probably like 2017 or something.
Okay.
Yeah. So I don't know. It's always, I don't know. It's always like a thing. Like, it's like, okay, I know I'm not ugly. I know this. It's like, why do you have to like be creepy? Like I live alone. I'm a woman. Like, I understand that you want to get to know me, but it's, I don't know. I don't know what it was about me that he wanted to try again. Cool, thanks. But it's like, it's just so uncomfortable. It's so uncomfortable, especially when you live alone. It's like, especially as a woman, it's just like, ugh.
Is that the last time you saw him?
Huh?
Is that the last time you end up seeing him? I guess he's like close enough that he was like walking distance. So he's like, you're in an actual neighborhood. He's like an actual neighbor. And I don't know if like that was the last time you saw him or if there were awkward encounters after that.
No, that was it.
Okay.
Yeah, I guess another thing about home ownership too is like, I mean, it's a little bit different because like when you own somewhere, like you're there you're probably gonna be there for a good while, at least 3+ years. Definitely more, but like, yeah. Whereas when you're renting, you're probably gonna be there for like a year. So if someone is obnoxious or annoying, you have like the feeling of like, like the real, like, okay, I'm going to be here for maybe like 7 more months. I could probably deal with that and then just move somewhere else. Unless it's like, fucking insane, then you have to break the lease, which is shitty, but it can happen. But like when you own a place, it's like, I can't just break the lease. I have to like sell my home.
Right.
And then like, like go somewhere. But yeah, no, I made like a terrible mistake. I don't know. I guess like my ego was like on 100 this one day where I decided to, I don't know, like this one worker at Publix, which is like the grocery store here. He was cute. I'm not gonna deny that he was an idiot. But like we like exchanged numbers. And like And then I kind of like stopped talking to him, but it was like awkward because I would like see him at Publix occasionally. I was like, fuck, I keep forgetting that he works at this Publix, but it's like on my way home from work. So like it was just awkward. So yeah, don't do that. You know, rule number like 12. I'll skip a few. Rule number 12 is home ownership. It was at Hot Guy Publix. Thanks for remembering that, Mish. So there's two Publixes. There's Hot Guy Publix and then Old People Publix that I live in.
Oh, I do remember hearing about like Old People Publix.
Yeah, there's Old People Publix. Yeah, so no, he was at Hot Guy Publix. That's where the hot guys go.
There you go.
Yeah. No, that I don't know what the hell I was. I don't know. Sometimes I just get in my head. It's like, oh, I'm talking to one guy. Let me try talking to another guy. Let me just talk to as many guys. No, I need to calm down. I need a cute girl Winn-Dixie. I do live near Winn-Dixie too.
You said there's a Winn-Dixie in your area?
Mm-hmm, yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. Let's not talk about that name, but there's a Winn-Dixie. Cute girl Winn-Dixie. I'd probably feel safe and cute. And it's next to a gym too, so there might be like cute Hot Guy Publix is right next to an LA Fitness. And I guess cute girl Winn-Dixie, which is I guess I'll call it that now.
There you go.
Next to a Planet Fitness.
Interesting.
If I can have a tomato. I mean, so far it's worked 0 times that I know of. But I don't know, maybe in the 1940s it worked.
Hey. Right?
Yeah.
I mean, but then again, it probably would have been like, hey, do you have a tomato plant that I can pluck a tomato from? And boom. There goes a conversation starter, and who knows where that will lead.
Have like a transatlantic accent. It's like, hey, darling, you happen to have a tomato nearby?
There you go.
I'd like to pick one of the tomatoes from your tomato tree.
Oh, man. That'd be awesome. That would be awesome. Corniest pickup line, but if it works, it works.
It's true, yeah. That's true. Like, you never know what pickup line is going to work.
Hold on. But then again, I got to take that back because Chad, he put this one in.
Oh, snap.
Really? Is it? What? Can you ask? What? May I ask? What does that mean? An old demeaning word for women? Oh, wow. So, yeah, he was a dumbass male.
Oh, man.
That's so odd.
Whispering Eye said, have you gotten anyone else to have the crypto stream? Like, we haven't had another crypto stream yet, but we do. Like, we have someone who I need to, like, contact again. I was thinking about, I haven't spoken to you guys yet, but, like, maybe, like, in January or so to contact our friend who does, like, who knows a lot about NFTs, he said that he wanted to talk about it.
Oh, yeah.
You mentioned, tatted. Right.
Yeah, for sure. For sure, Whispering Eyes. Like, that would be awesome.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, the more the merrier.
Yes.
Thanks for the compliment on my accent, Chad.
There you go.
Tomato.
Oh, wow. Yeah. I can see that being very wrong. I can see that. Wow.
TM.
Really, Mish?
Oh, snap. You done messed up because now.
When's the initial coin offering?
We're going to have to do this.
TM coin. The melanated coin. It looks to be like a solid black coin.
There you go.
An NFT. Well, let me not spell the T. I'm a message on the side. But we about to launch an NFT too.
NFT.
Don't tempt me. Or us.
Sure. I feel like the initial offering will be like 0.0000000. Like how every coin starts.
Mhm.
Like 20 zeros.
TM coin. I'm here for it actually.
Oh, right.
Hey.
No, that's how they'd say it. Yeah, true. In that accent. Yeah.
Man.
Yeah, you got a tomato?
Oh.
Hey, darling. I was like, oh, no, sir. What are you calling me? That tomato?
I don't have a garden, but I'm still trying to harvest you.
Come on, Toby.
There's a video. I'll probably send it, even though it's like more gardening than homeowner. I mean, it's not even gardening. It's just. I gotta send it. I gotta find this.
Oh man, that's funny. Oh, so Elves, because you are a homeowner, what is the
What's up?
this hurt beats for you? There you go.
Oh. That's sweeter.
There you go. What has been the most annoying thing about being a homeowner?
Um, the most annoying thing. I'll name a few. Um, of course, like when things go wrong, like you have to fix it, which is like a good and a bad thing because like instead of like waiting on a landlord for how many days, you could just fix it immediately.
Hmm.
Um, so that's like a good and a bad thing, but it comes out of your pocket. Fortunately, like things don't go bad often, so it's not like every 2 months I'm spending like $1,000. No, that's like I've been living here for like 6 years now, and literally just recently things have like started to like sort of happen, but it hasn't really been like that crazy.
Hmm.
And it's fortunately because I have a network of like maintenance people and contractors and my sister and her husband and things like that. So fortunately, things haven't been like hella costly, and the only things that have been costly have been, like the updates that I did to like my bathrooms and getting my place painted and things like that.
Right.
So another annoying thing is at the time I had at the time I had like the previous owner had like some tall plants in the patio,
Hmm.
and which was great for privacy. So I had to like go out there and like cut it and take care of it, maintain it,
Hmm.
which was like a little annoying, but it was also rewarding at the same time.
Hmm.
Um, what else is another annoying thing? Um, Definitely because I was like the only person my age at the time to be like a homeowner. It was like a little weird.
Hmm.
Um, like like other people, like especially if it's like hurricane season, they didn't really like care. But like because like if a hurricane were to come and like fuck up my shit, that's gonna be really fucking costly. And like so
Right.
hurricane season was like like a lot more stressful than
Okay.
it normally is. So like like I have plywood and some shutters that I got to just be able to at least protect my property. So like hurricane season is stressful, but also like being a woman and then having to like find someone who is handy enough to board up the shit is annoying. Like I wish I could just sort of
Mm-hmm.
do it myself
Hmm.
because I am like pretty like like independent. I don't really like waiting on people or Yeah, I don't like waiting on people or feeling like I have to rely on people, but sometimes you do.
Right.
And, that's just me being stubborn. Like, you have to know to rely on the right people and, trust the right people. I remember there was this time during hurricane season, this one guy said that he was going to like board up my place. Like some guy that was just going around neighborhoods saying that, like he does that. And I was like calling him up, calling him up. Like he came over and like assessed the situation and then just never came back.
Wow.
Yeah, this was I want to say this was Hurricane Irma, which, completely destroyed the island of Barbuda
Hmm.
and I believe the island of Dominica as well. Not to be confused with Barbados or the Dominican Republic. These are two different islands.
Hmm. Hmm. Hmm.
So that just destroyed. So like that was a very stressful hurricane because it was massive. It was like
Yeah.
probably the strongest hurricane. I, I don't know if it was the strongest hurricane ever on record, but it was massive. It totally at one point it totally engulfed the entire state of Florida.
Mm.
Um,
Hmm.
so yeah, so like that was very very stressful, and so like the fact that this man just totally just chucked the deuces. I feel like he just probably saved me in his phone as like do not answer or some shit.
Wow.
Yeah, that's how I felt because of just how much like I was like blowing up his phone. So I was like, dude, I really and like, but I was able to use Facebook Marketplace to like buy some plywood that was, of course, more expensive than normal. But like this guy was able to like deliver it like the
Hmm.
day that the hurricane was fucking coming, and like this one guy who was just chilling outside, like just like across the street. He came down from New Jersey to board up his mom's place and just hang out with his mom. He was just chilling, like smoking a cigarette, just like hanging out outside. And I asked him, I was like, "Hey, do you happen to have like a drill or something to help, like board up my place?" And he was just like, "Yeah." He just had everything. He had a saw to cut the wood. He had measuring everything. He had a drill. He just had all the things. I was like, "Well, thank
Nice.
God I asked this guy. He didn't want any money. He was just bored." So
There you go.
yeah,
Like, hey, give me something to do while I'm
right.
puffing on this cigarette. There you go.
Right. So like that was, like like at the time like my parents were over and like my brother were trying to like help board up my place, but they didn't have the right drill, like the right drill bits
Mm.
because you have to drill into concrete, so you need like one of those like massive drills.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah,
Right. Rather than just like what you'd probably drill to like hang up like these pictures that I need to hang up.
yeah.
I actually just like these aren't even going in this room. I just put them up for like it's like, hey, I have art because they're always on the table. So I was like,
Mm.
and I keep having to move them somewhere. I was like, here's some art that I bought, and I
There you
framed
go.
it. Anyway, just so that I'm not like a serial murderer because I don't have anything on my walls, but I'm going to get around to that.
Oh, we
But
wouldn't think that, El. We wouldn't think that at all. Right, Tony?
No, of course not.
Ah,
I mean, you
oh
met me
boy.
in person, Toby. Did I give like serial murder vibes?
I don't know. You got saved by the bell.
There you go. There you go.
Or maybe we got saved. No, just
that
I'm completely kidding.
was
Um,
good. That was good for real.
Oh yeah.
But
That was an instant classic. Yes.
and unfortunately, I mean, I'm just listening intently because I do not own a home, but
Hmm.
um, I'm just kind of listening to. I did have one little thing. I want to let you finish your story though.
for
Or
sure.
however, um, or were you good on that?
I mean,
Don't want to interrupt.
the last thing I was gonna say is, I mean, I don't know, like, I don't know if like owning a home is like made dating a little harder. Is like I don't want to just, I don't know, like it's definitely given me like different perspective on people. Not saying like, oh, you weren't a homeowner at 24. What the hell's wrong with you? It's like, no, like I know that I was a unicorn
Mm.
in this situation, but it sort of like kind of made me realize in terms of like, how to like navigate men when it comes to like finances and responsibilities and like things like that. And I don't know if I had scared men away because I never like lied that if they ever came over, I never lied like about being a homeowner or not. I've been tempted to like it's annoying to feel like you have to, I guess, like lower your shine, lower your self-worth just to kind of be on like the same level, so
Mm.
to speak. I don't know if I'm like wording this right. It's like I'm not dating you to like for your money or anything, but I don't know if that's what you want me to be doing. like
Right.
maybe I don't know if guys just didn't like feel useful. Like there was like this one guy just recently, actually. I wanted him to help me install like my standing desk. Um, and I ended up just installing it myself because I had the time. Like it had nothing to do with him. I just happened to have the time and I wanted to install it. But I don't know if he like felt any sort of type of way. I could just be reading into it. But like I don't know. He and I don't talk. Not on like necessarily bad terms. But I don't know. I guess we just sort of faded away. Um, but I don't know if like, because it's weird because like sometimes guys would say like they like a certain like it's like, oh, you're a homeowner, that's hot, but then like I don't know if like they get into their head and then like I don't know. I could just be reading way too much into it. There's probably like something else that I did or something else that just fucking happened that like certain things just didn't work out between me and certain guys. But I don't know. It's just, but I know that I just can't let any guy in anymore
Mm.
because like a home is like your sanctuary, and you can't just have any sort of energy. Like, not to sound super like dreadlock, weed smoking, wise sage lady, but
Mhm.
like, like you can't just have like any energies in your home because that
Oh.
really, right? Because that really just messes up the balance of your home. And yeah, I don't want to sound like all woo woo, but like I feel like I've definitely seen that in certain
Mhm.
aspects. Like because you want to come home and feel at peace.
Right.
You want to go home and
Right.
feel relaxed and tranquil and you know chill, and because it's your sanctuary.
Mhm.
So you can't really just have anybody coming into your house, and like it's dating. Yeah, it's also friends. It's also like you can't just be having your door open to anybody. And I feel like it's just a little bit different from renting because like if you're renting, you're probably gonna move in like a year or so. So like every like you get like a kind of like a fresh start almost.
Mhm.
Whereas like when it's your home, like you have to probably like repaint it, redecorate it, do a lot more to really just create a new balance in your home. And that could be annoying. And
Mhm.
and and stuff like that. Like you can't just have anybody rent. You can't just have anybody live in your home. You can't just have anybody come over.
Right.
Um, like it just becomes different. You start to become like a lot more cautious and a lot more mindful.
Right. Right. I
Yeah,
hear you. I hear
That
you.
makes a lot of sense.
yeah.
It does.
Oh, thank you.
It does. That makes a lot of sense. Yeah. Yeah. I know. I know. Before you guys came on, was chatting up with Sample, and he was asking about the dream home. He remembered me in one of our videos where I was talking about a dream. Talking about our dream home, and right now we're pretty much at the step of um deciding what we want to do as far as rather than like buy a home, we want to go ahead and get it built. And so we got a couple of options as far as what we want to do and how we wanted to do it. We got pricing done. I got like on my I got a dry erase board hanging on the side of my refrigerator that I am actually looking at right now. And it has the pricing of all the homes that we're looking at, the square footage of the homes, uh, and how it's going to sit on the land we're looking at getting. And so we got that up there, and it just pretty much is working with our realtor as far as making sure we find land that's suitable, and also potentially working with our potential builder as far as saying like what else is needed to go ahead and get that home built. And so we got a lot of things in play. I know that we're working, the both of us, we're still working on our credit. And I got um, one bill I'm actually taking care of that by the beginning of 2022, that would be off of my credit report, and that's going to help boost up my credit report a lot. So can't wait for that, and just really just looking forward to you know once we get this process rolling and everything else and sign the paperwork and documents. It's like, okay, this is ours, and we're not moving until who knows when. Like I don't like I told the missus, like, listen, the next time we move is going to be the final time. Like I'm not trying to move again. Like I hate moving with an utter passion. I do. I hate moving. And so the next time we move, stop it. So the next time we move is going to be the final time. Like I'm not moving again. Mm-mm. I am not moving again. So I do get what Ella is saying. Like once you get your own, that's your own, and you pretty much want to take care of it, but also at the same time, make sure it's in balance. Like I get it. Oh, I totally get it. Even the place that I'm renting out is like, yeah, it's a home. It's like it's a house. It's big enough to the point where everybody is kind of comfortable, but at the same time, everybody knows that we need something bigger due to the fact that everybody themselves, as far as the kids go, yeah, they're getting bigger. They need their own space. It's like, yeah, yeah, you
Mhm.
definitely need your own space, and we're gonna work as hard as we can to make sure to get that done. You know, so I get it. Like L, I get it. I understand, and kudos to you. Kudos to you.
Thank you.
You're welcome. You are welcome. I'm the type of person where I'm gonna get my flowers while you still here on this side of the dirt because I ain't trying to give them when you're down when you're underneath it. Like I ain't trying to do that. Nah,
No, thank you.
nah. Yeah, you're welcome. You're
Yeah.
welcome.
Um, uh, this is, I don't know, I guess random because I just recently painted it. This, like, painting my place, like, I literally painted it for the first time.
Hmm.
So, like, I just been living with, like, honestly, like, the previous homeowners, like, however they painted it. And, and I painted it. I mean, I wanted to paint my place for, like, the longest, but, just always kept putting it off. But then, like, when my mom moved out and, like, she had like a painter like like a friend of the family. Then he came over and like painted my place, and like it sort of just gives like a different vibe to it,
Mm-hmm.
because before, like, this wall was like a light blue, and like all the other walls were like a pale yellow, and then like my room's like a pale pink and stuff like that. But this was like the first time, like, I guess me kind of like just showing myself like what it is that I want, and how
Mm-hmm.
I want to express my home, and things like that. And I guess like I just never really cared, because it was just, it just seemed kind of tiny, because it's just
Mm-hmm.
like whatever, it's paint on a wall. I don't know, like I think my throat's just hella dry. Um, but like sorry, but like it does make me feel better. Even though I am a little pissed about the paint job, that's a different story. But like it does make me feel better. um, I guess like just seeing something new, even though it's like still within my home, like still just seeing something new, and me, because like living with my mom for 2.5 years, and having to like deal with her energies and everything that she was going through, like a divorce, a separation, and all that, and just having to like just sort of navigate that. So it was quite a blessing to be able to just get my place painted, and even just get the baseboards changed. It just kind of made me start to like look at my home in a different light, rather than just like a place to like sort of like lay my head, because just from living with my mom for so long, it was just like, I had to like kind of just create my home anew, if that makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
And
Mm-hmm.
it's been like, so far it's just been like kind of cool, because it does feel like sort of like a different place. Like this couch, I bought it literally a month after I moved in, and I never put the legs on the couch. So it's just been like low riding for like 5 years or so, almost 6. And then when they were doing the baseboards, they had to take things out of my linen closet, and that's where the legs were. And I was like, wait a second, they have tools that could probably put legs on this couch. I could put legs on this couch. And yeah, I should have done it a million years ago. But like life happened. But it was just like little things like that, like fixing my sliding glass door that's like was messed up for like over a year, putting legs on the couch, getting the place painted, getting different kinds of art, because I had previous art up on the walls that was like that I bought from a friend who he was moving. He just had like some random art. And I was just like, oh, let me buy it, because I was buying like a coffee table from him. Not this one currently, but it was another coffee table. I was like, let me just buy the art just to have something on the walls, because you know I don't know anything about anything. So, but it's just sort of cool that I'm starting to sort of like fully grasp like what it is that I can do in my own home. And it's like, oh, I could do a lot more. I shouldn't just live within everything that I see. It's like, okay, there's already a nail in the wall. Let me just hang something there because it's already a nail. It's because the previous owner had whatever there. It's not like she was the master of nails on the wall and knew where to put everything. But it was just like I couldn't like conceptualize and even think super far out, or it's just like, all right, this is like a bump. Let me put something over this. Like I just need to fix this. I just need to put something here and just call it a day. But I never really like thought of like what it is that I actually can do. I felt sort of, I don't know, I guess not confident within myself, like so to speak.
Boxed in maybe.
Yeah, yeah, that's a good way to put it, because this was just like a very new thing. It's like it's like if everybody got like a cat and a dog, then you got like a pet chinchilla, and it's like you don't know the first thing about it. but this is what you have, and you have to take care of it and figure it out. And like you just have to figure it out like day by day. I guess build a network of other people who own chinchillas. And
You said own chinchillas.
like because like I didn't really have friends who owned homes or anything, and like I just knew like my mom and dad at the time, like my sister, like those are the only people that I knew that were homeowners. So it was just like a little weird, and like like aunts and uncles too, but it was just like having a home and feeling boxed in is like, what is it that I can and can't do? I don't really know when I could actually do anything. But the thought of me being able to do anything, it just seemed like a lot, especially at 24. And you just go through life every day, just going to work, coming home. Like I've always worked far from where I lived, which is annoying. So you come home, you're tired, you're not really trying to like do anything, not really trying to like improve your home or really try. So you're just sort of living life day by day. It's like, oh, I'm going out after work. You come home late, you go to sleep, you wake up, shower, go to work, and you just do that over and over and over again for fucking years. And then, and then like, shit hits the fan. Like your mom, mom moved in, and then pandemic happened, and then you're just in your house all the time. And then like you really start to like look around and be like, why is that still like this? Why shouldn't I just do this? You start to kind of look around at your surroundings because you're sort of forced to. And then like my mom moved out, and I'm starting to like appreciate my surroundings more.
Okay.
Yeah.
That makes sense. That definitely makes sense.
But I was just like thinking, like, yeah, you felt like you're boxed in these four walls, literally and figuratively,
mentally, emotionally.
Yeah. That's a good way of putting that. Yeah. I know for myself. I mean, I unfortunately don't have like a good like home ownership story, and even like my siblings, they're older than me, but they don't own any homes. One of my cousins did, but I didn't really ask so much about how he went through that process. Him and his wife, they got married last year, but so I know they bought the home during the pandemic because they got married like near the end of March of last year. But I didn't really have a lot of close friends who like talked about home ownership. I think maybe I knew some people who like went off somewhere at grad school or full-time working elsewhere, but usually I don't really care about it until after the fact. Like, oh yeah, home ownership, and then you see like a Facebook post. But one friend who I actually met because we canvassed, I haven't really talked with him as consistently, but we met like in January or February because we canvassed. I think it was February, yeah. So we canvassed for Yang like the week before he dropped out, unfortunately, because it was literally the weekend before the New Hampshire primary. So it was like, let's go up to New Hampshire and do some canvassing, and I was like the driver. So carpooled. But anyway, this guy, like, we talked a lot on Facebook, especially last year. I mean, we've talked a bit this year, but last year we talked a lot on Facebook. And so one of the things that he was posting about, because I posted something about home ownership, and he was saying, you should really, he said he recommends everyone who's going to live somewhere 3+ years should just buy their house. Like he said, maybe even 2.5, because he said like there's certain fees that are involved, or just like it's a hassle to like do all the selling and stuff. But if you're just going to live somewhere for a while, just own it, because it'll probably go up in value and then you can just sell it when you want to move. As long as you don't need to like move around quickly. So I was like, yeah, I probably could have done that. But I mean, buying a house was not about to be my first move when I like got my first full-time job. And I mean, I know for you, you did say that you kind of had your own job, hell, your first real big girl job at 24, but
right.
I did.
That wasn't going to be my first move either. It was my sister suggested it, and I was just like, all right. And I went to the mortgage broker, not expecting to qualify. But yeah, go on.
Yeah, because in my head I was just thinking too, like, what if that happened when I was at home? Like, if I decided to stay home and work there, would I have like gotten an appointment with someone and look for a house? But I don't know. I mean, I guess I might be the first person if I really wanted to get a house, but it's like in my family besides my parents. But yeah, like my friend's advice was interesting because he really was saying buy for 3 years or hold it if you're gonna live somewhere for 3 years, buy.
Right.
And he was pretty adamant about it. Like I know, like he wasn't thinking of it in terms of necessarily the wealth building because I always think of home ownership as like generational wealth. You have like a wife, you have a you have a partner, you have kids, and you're buying this house as a part of a way of getting wealth, or you're trying to do it as an income revenue stream if you're trying to buy like a duplex or triplex and rent out the homes. And I was like, well, I'm nowhere near either of those two things. I'm not right now trying to be a property manager, nor am I trying to like build wealth generationally. But the way he put it was just like, oh, this actually is maybe a good idea. Especially when I tell people my rent, they're like, you can get a mortgage for cheaper than that because Massachusetts. So just today, I was talking to someone at my job, and they were like, you literally have a mortgage. And other people blew me out the water with their rent. So I was like, what the heck? Someone was talking about the rent was offered for like 2,700, and he's like getting a good deal at 24 something, and I was like, no, or 2,500, and I was like, no. Like I thought I was paying a lot last year, 2 years ago, but so that's the other attractive thing: is put your money towards something that's permanent instead of this like, just paying a landlord basically.
It's true, yeah. Because if you're paying rent, you're definitely putting money in somebody else's pocket. And yeah, Massachusetts rent is egregious. I know, like I was like sort of like seeing somebody who lived like in Fenway, and I remember his rent at the time was like 2,700. He had like a 2-1, I think. If I'm not mistaken, like the washer and dryer weren't even inside the unit.
Oh,
Yeah. So I was like, that is twice what I pay for mortgage. So right, and like what I think is crazy about renting too is like you have to do like the first and last months. So like you're already like 2,700 times 2 is what, like 5,400. And like that could be like a down payment towards like if you were to buy a home for like a first time homeowners, like an FHA, which isn't ideal because like that like that I keep forgetting the fucking like the friggin' percentage. I don't know why I keep forgetting the word. It fluctuates, it changes. Like you want a fixed rate rather than
APR type thing.
Huh?
Like the APR, except for a home.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
Yeah, you want like a fixed rate rather than I think it's an adjustable rate. Like, and I think first time FHA's first time homeowners, it's like association. I don't know what the A stands for. Like usually those first time those loans, they usually are like an adjustable rate mortgage, which isn't ideal. Like it's fucked. It's like, is it worth, like, I don't know, owning a property I feel like is always worth it more than renting. Like I don't know, I'd say 7-8 times out of 10. I'm not going to say 100% of the time because depending on a whole bunch of situations, like renting can always be like very ideal. Like I'd be lying if I said there weren't times I wish I was renting. I'd be lying. And it's just mainly because like like I don't really want to be living in South Florida. But it's like my job is here, family's here, and it's like I don't know where the hell else I'll even go because everything's expensive where I would love to live. And so, there are times like, man, I wish I could. It's like if I could just sell my place, and then move over here. It's like, but how much do houses cost over there? I'm like, ooh, I can't just like rent somewhere. Like I feel like that would just be losing money.
Right. Yeah.
So, so like it's just like a little bit. It's a little hard because I'm like, man, if I just rented a place like a normal millennial, and it's like, oh, I could live down here for a bit, and then move, to like Philly because I was wanting to move to Philly, and I still do like Philly and like Atlanta. I'd probably consider moving to because like Philly, I hear seems to be like a cheap city to live in. Probably not so much anymore because of the pandemic. And Atlanta, I think, is still reasonable, if I'm not mistaken, in terms of pricing. Because being a black person in America, yeah, I would love to be able to sell my home, take that money, and buy some land in like a
Right.
beautiful place in Arkansas because that's probably all I could afford. But I don't know how nice the neighbors will be. I don't know. They could be sweethearts. Who knows? I'm probably just, you know, like profiling, racially profiling, which isn't cool. Or I could be right, and that's scary.
Wow.
Yeah.
Well, yeah. Well, hopefully that
Mhm.
doesn't. Hopefully it doesn't happen like that. Hopefully.
Right. Because like I would love to live somewhere that has like like beautiful terrain and mountains and
Yeah.
I don't know if Arkansas really has mountains. I haven't really like I'm just saying because I assume Arkansas is probably cheaper to live in than Boston. Um, but like it would be awesome to just own like a plot of land. I think that's like a lot of people's dream. Um, to have like a farm or something or like a lot of plants and like fruit and stuff like that. Just be able to have an acre and do whatever the hell or not just an acre, but like several acres and just do whatever you want with it.
Yes.
The Ozarks.
Sorry. My home state, though I don't really claim it.
Okay. Okay, so Ozarks are in Arkansas. Okay. No, I guessed right. I was like, I'm sure Arkansas has some beautiful, like, shit out there. Shit they got
Something.
it going on.
Got something.
Yeah, right? It's like, come on. Yeah. I got something
Yeah.
over there.
Right. Right. Oh man.
Or even North Carolina. I hear that's gorgeous.
That's what I've heard. I don't know if it's true or not, but that's what I've heard. I've also
Yeah.
heard that South Carolina is where to go.
Yeah, I've heard that too.
And one person in particular said that is where you need to be. I'm not going to mention the names,
I have a, I have
he's
a
been on
feeling.
this he's been on the show like a handful of times before. He said, "Come on down. Let me know if you come into Charleston, and let him know that we in town, and he will gladly give us a tour." I'm like, "Yes, sir."
Oh, okay, for sure. Hmm.
Hey, there you go.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There you
Tampa.
go.
Yay. So a
Woo,
5 acre.
woo. Let's
So,
go.
So hell yeah. Hell yeah. That's what's up.
Yes,
That is that's definitely the shit. Congrats, man.
big time.
Yeah, for sure. He's like said it's hard as fuck. Still not done, but it's all theirs. And
Yes,
that's the dream.
yes. Another gorgeous state is Maryland.
Hmm.
Okay,
Okay, true.
okay.
Yeah.
That is true.
Yeah,
That's true.
that's true. That would
That
make sense.
I
That
don't
does sound
know.
good. I don't know how their
Yeah,
beaches are though.
I don't know. I couldn't tell you. Never been.
Right, yeah. But they do have beaches. That makes sense. They are on the
Hmm.
coast.
Yes.
Because like I don't know. I guess because I'm from the state that I'm from. I'm kind of like I'm not saying like I put my nose up to beaches, but it's like no. I feel like when people talk about beaches, they only talk about like Florida and California.
Mm.
Mm.
Um, Georgia has a beach.
Mm.
Everything along the coast, North Carolina, South Carolina, I'd assume. Like, I don't know if they just have like some crazy rocks and the beaches are just like impossible. I doubt it.
Sheesh. Right.
There's like an island. I forget which Carolina it was, but there was like an island, like a gulag.
Oh, Gullah.
Yeah.
Gullah Island.
So,
Yeah. Gullah Island. Gullah Island. Yeah. No, that's a real
right.
place.
It's true. It's true. But like
Yes.
recently, like this island was like 90% black, and now it's like 95% white or something. And it's
What?
like getting like gentrified and things like that. But it was like a little island, and yeah, I mean, I just hope that the history of there doesn't get wiped away because that's I feel it's always like the saddest. But that's something that's occurring right now.
Yeah.
Um,
That's crazy.
mhm.
That's crazy. Grew up watching that. Like because of the culture that's there, and it's like it just made you want to be there just so you could experience it. Man, that sucks.
Mm.
Mm.
That sucks.
No.
Uh,
Barack said that the beaches in Maryland are not Cali or Florida, but they're better than New
mm,
England. I've been to Cape. I've been to the Cape, in Massachusetts, and I agree.
Like Cape Cod area.
Yeah, is that like the name of the whole Cape thingy? Is it
You
called Cape?
know, I
I feel
guess
like
the
it's one of
Cape,
those.
maybe the Cape is like larger and Cape Cod's one specific town. I've not been to the Cape. I've been to Martha's Vineyard, which I guess is kind of like the exception where it's like really beautiful because that's like where the basically the richest homes are. Barack Obama has
Mhm.
a home there. I think Michael Jordan has a home there. So um, I was at Martha's Vineyard September last year, like Labor Day weekend. It was super cool. Nice little pandemic getaway. It was warm, and while things were not as open, it was cool. But I guess that's like one because I've been to other beaches in Mass where it's like okay, like a lot of them are really small, kind of isolated,
Mhm.
um, versus like Massachusetts or Maryland, of course, where I grew up. Because I noticed like, oh wait a second, Maryland entered the chat while I still. I knew of Ocean City, obviously, growing up. I lived like 30, 40 minutes away. And I knew of Myrtle Beach in South Carolina, Outer Banks in
Mhm.
North Carolina, and obviously Virginia Beach. So I always knew that the coast, funny enough, I didn't know much about Florida, even though it's like Miami Beach is famous. But like until college, when people went to like Panama City, like everyone went
Mhm.
to Panama City Beach for spring break. But
Mhm.
besides that, like my experience of what I knew, I've been to Virginia Beach like twice, and I've not been to the Myrtle Beach or Outer Banks, but I've heard they're both beautiful. So I always knew there's like a lot of good quality beaches in the South. I didn't know about Georgia. I've actually never heard of a beach in Georgia, which I'm sorry, I know there must be,
Right. No, I feel you. Like you feel
but
stupid saying it's like, oh, like according to the map, there would be a beach. Like,
get some oceanfront property or whatever. Which actually that's another thing. Or beach houses are very popular up here. Um,
mm.
I'm
Yeah,
sure
I
in
think
Maryland and
I
elsewhere,
think
but
in Georgia it's called like Hilton Head.
mm,
There's like an area called Hilton Head, I think, that it's like on the beach. Anyways, go on. Sorry, just came to me.
no, you're good. I have to look that up too. And then I've never been to California, so and my one time in Washington in Seattle was like there was no beach going, so that was not a thing.
Right, there would technically be beaches there, though.
Right,
Well, not
there's
maybe not Seattle, but like in
the
Washington.
western, yeah,
Right. Yeah.
the part that's like yeah, because it's just interesting, the geography there, but yeah, there's something in the Pacific Northwest. Oregon, same thing, right? There's something there. But and then of course you have like this, like not the South, but like Southwest. So Texas, you have Galveston Beach by Houston, which I've been there once.
Oh, true.
That was okay. Like just mostly I feel like a lot of those areas are more like boardwalks. Like we're really just here for the food and like everything else. Like Ocean City had like amusement park type stuff. Some places actually have nice beaches. So I know the Maryland comment was about more than just the beaches, but like Maryland's, it's not bad. It's just, I feel like most of the reputation of Ocean City was drunk high schoolers going for senior week, which I did not have that experience, but my experience was mostly as a kid with family. So it is what it is. And then there's a bunch of other geography in the state. It's like every climate except the desert. Maryland, the mountains by West Virginia, a lot of the suburbs, city, and then like actual forestry. Definitely like more country areas, farmland, like Barack said. It's interesting for sure. If I was gonna get a house, it would make more sense to probably buy something there than. I mean, it's still gonna be expensive in Maryland because you're right by DC, and that's like more expensive. Not more; it's next expensive after Boston. Like I think number 4 in Boston's number 3 with housing prices. Housing prices or rent, but both are very linked. So we'll see.
If you've never been to like the beaches in South Florida, like one thing I learned when I was up in the Cape like a couple of summers ago, like the water is freezing. Like even in the summer, the water is so fucking cold. Like
interesting.
Like down here, like the ocean is actually like warm. So like it takes, you jump in, like you feel like that initial like cold, cool feeling, but like it goes away very quickly because like the water is like relatively warm. At least compared to up there in the Cape. I was like, and people come here. Like when I was up in the Cape, I was like, people actually come here into the water to like enjoy it. Like this is painful. But yeah. So I don't know. Sorry to your beaches, I guess.
Wow.
Sorry to this beach.
Sorry to that beach. Lord.
R.I.P. to the beach. No. Man. Oh, wonderful topics. Ha! Mish, there you go.
Ain't that a beach?
Yes. Yes, it is.
Yes.
Yes, it is. Well, I know we could stay for a little while longer, but, it's getting close to that time for us to wrap it up and relax and whatnot. So, is there anything else anybody would like to add? And then I'll let you have a whack because, of course, since you are a homeowner and everything else, if there's anything else you would like to add, for those of us who aren't homeowners yet, I'm putting in yet because I know it's coming. But for those who aren't homeowners yet, like, whatever other tips and tricks that you've learned, you mind sharing?
Yeah, definitely create a network of people who like who are handy, who could do things around the house. Don't be afraid to go on YouTube and try to be handy yourself. Like it's your home. It's like the best place to practice. Don't be like if don't. Of course, you're gonna like be nervous about buying a home. So like as I always say, do it scared. But definitely, if you have the opportunity to buy a place, definitely do so.
Mhm.
Of course, do the research. Don't just buy a place that is gonna like prices are gonna go down, soon. Like definitely buy somewhere that's like on the up and up, that's like upcoming, of course, because this is still dealing with like the market, which is like stocks. So like you can never beat the market. So just go along with the market. Like look for places that are like areas that are getting built up. Don't like buy into that area because that's usually like going to be hella expensive. But like maybe look towards neighborhoods that are maybe like 20 minutes away or so. Because like your property still rises even if like the city or two over is getting built up because because it's like, oh, okay, now we have a Trader Joe's that's like a city or two away, whereas before we didn't, or something like that. Yeah. What Stick Hill Farm said, don't be afraid to start super cheap, build equity. Yeah, exactly. Don't reach on payments. Don't be like, definitely like live within your means. So like, yeah, you just because you can, let's say you qualify for like a $250,000 loan. Don't buy a $250,000 home with the loan. Like, like try to get underneath that. If you are single and you don't have kids or anything, even if you do have like a kid or so, like it's okay to buy like a 2-2 or 2-1 condo. Like it may not be like the greatest, like because you're like, oh, I don't really want to share a bathroom, and I understand that, but like you're still owning a place.
Mhm.
Even
Mhm.
like there are places that are, like especially in like downtown Fort Lauderdale that are like 1-1s, and those aren't like the most attractive. But always remember that people are buying them. Like people are living in them. People are buying them. Um, so don't feel any type of way because like, oh, I wanted a 2-2. It's like, well, it's like the old saying goes, location, location, location. That
Mhm.
matters a whole lot. So like trust me, like don't try to buy a place that's like the nearest highway is like 45 minutes and a hospital is like an hour away or something, like especially if you don't have to do that. Like
Right.
Yeah.
yeah. So like definitely like pay attention to the location. School zones if if that's important to you, if you especially if you have children. Places that are like coming up, and especially what Stick Hill Farm says, like don't be afraid to start super cheap. Don't be afraid of renovations either. Like you might go into a place, you're like, man, this place is a dump. It's like that's great because it's cheaper, and if the appliances work, then you can live with it because you were most likely renting beforehand with probably just as bad of appliances that your landlord was refusing to change out
Fair.
Mhm.
and just raising rent. So you could, move into a dump, fix it up whenever you get money. You could fix it up slowly. You could fix it up all at the same time, depending on like your money stream is. That raises the value of it. And you're living in an investment. So, which is definitely one of the most important things. So those
Nice.
are, I guess, my final thoughts. Also, this is just me being picky, but definitely get a place that has like parking. Because it's annoying going over to a person's house and like it's a entire condominium of like like 168 units, and there's only like five guest parking. Like no, unless you don't want anyone to find you, unless you don't want anyone to come over, which is your business. At least get a place that has parking. But that's just me being picky.
Mhm.
But definitely pay attention to that because it's annoying. Like I said, going over a friend's place and it's like, oh, I have to park in the neighborhood next door. All right, you have to come pick me up because it's late at night and it's dark and it's scary and I don't know this neighborhood at all.
Yeesh.
I'm having a great time. Like,
Right.
True.
Yeah, yeah,
Absolutely.
definitely true.
Mhm.
Definitely true. All right, that will do it. Is 11:31. Oh, that'll do it. Great talk, great conversation, great insight, wonderful feedback, and shout out to L and to all the homeowners in the stream. Thank you guys so much. Yes, cheers all. Yes, thank you guys so much for
Thank you.
your words of wisdom and everything else that has come out of your experience and that you are willing to share. Again, thank you guys so much. And with that being said, again, check us out next week, same time, same channel, same trio, different topic, and you never know, we may have a special guest. You never know. But until then, make sure you hit the like button, subscribe, depending upon what platform you're on, and hit the notification bell so that way you will stay informed of whenever we go live next. And as per use for our Twitch family, before you guys go, we like to raid somebody before we head off. And let's see, who are we going to raid tonight? Let's take a look. Let's see. We are going to raid. Uh,
Yeah.
there we go. I'm gonna raid this guy. He's a up and coming. He hasn't hit affiliate, but he's a guy that streams Call of Duty a lot. So I think you guys will like him.
Okay.
I'm with it. I rocks with
So
it.
so let me go ahead and pull up his information. Make sure I got everything typed in right because I want to do this. I want to do this right and show him some love and everything else. He will greatly appreciate it, even though he's kind of shy. Not really.
Mhm.
I did that right. Uh, let's see. Yep, there we go. So you guys, we're going to be sending you over to the Hooper. He's playing Call of Duty. Show him some love. And for everybody else, thank you guys for sticking tuned, sticking here with us.
Yes.
And we will catch you guys next week. With that being said, peace. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
And we'll catch you later. Bye.
Bye.
Bye.